It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And our focus is on Rachaad White. He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Bucs and the Falcons. All that and more. Coming up next.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1. With 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
First play, and Young is going to throw it. That's complete to Mooney. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And this will be a Falcons first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football overtime, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The numbers for Pitts in that game a week ago. 6 catches, 51 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
Now 2nd and 5. Option right, Young. There he goes, left side. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
To throw on 2nd down is Young. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd down.
Timing is so important like this because he's going to run about right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Young on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to 4th down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Santos' kick is up and through, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Taken at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup, threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 52 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
A first carry for Rachaad White. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rachaad White with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. So that a very nice-looking touchdown run.
And on his first carry of the game as well. And you remember, Brandon, we talked to him yesterday, and he thought he was going to have a big game. He thought everything aligned perfectly. He liked what the defense was presenting, and he really liked what he was getting from his blockers.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Cannon now elects to bring this out. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On second down, Young. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And that brings up 3rd down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Normally, a lot of teams are gel late in the season, but this unit, they've been terrific right from the word go. Came in as the number 1 rated unit against the pass in the NFL after just 1 week.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll run with Robinson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it's negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense. Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've had the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Young with it, 3rd and goal. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons are able to move back in front. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Well, Rachaad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You talk about this Falcon defense. They enter play here number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you're talking about where they rank in stopping the run. Well, how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Bucs at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Here's White. They set up the screen. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Fast footwork by White, and a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. Set on 2nd down.
Well, it changes your play calls, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
1st down, here's White. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Rachaad White with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Buccaneers have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
Oh, that's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it.
At the 34-yard line.
Now a second down throw for Young. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Young to throw it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line.
I think this one went away very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the second time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy line, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You don't.
I'm not good enough to play a fantasy game. I enjoy watching
you do it. You're an analyst. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking left sideline is complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and it made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
White. Touchdown, Buccaneers. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs.
And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, he's going to get more chances as this game goes on. And I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
Check right.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. And now we get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Falcons on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in his first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
This will be taken at the 10. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Well, Rachaad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Can't stop us in the pocket. They like a steamroller, baby. Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and long. This is White on the screen. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it. This is White. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He'll get that out to the flat to White. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8 that moves the chains.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. It's caught. This is White. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and 9 now. This will be caught at about the 6. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this one is right through. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So a long drive gets it down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just a field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening.
Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the 3rd quarter here. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White. He's toppled the century. Receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Automatic first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker, making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. They'll set up to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a... And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. That's out to the left, flat and complete. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Touchdown! Rachaad White from 13 yards out. And the Buccaneers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Cannon now elects to bring this out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now.
Ready.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Young will set to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Young. Young into the slide, and he's got a first down. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
And cycle.
On the counter, this is Robinson. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Third and 5. To throw, Young. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 43. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Let's go. Yellow. Hut.
It's Young off play action. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Well, you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your third-grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
That throw by Young incomplete.
He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And Young's throw there incomplete. So 2 third down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Well, Rachaad White and the rest of this Tampa Bay offense going back to work now. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he is.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. And even 50 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away.
And he cannot get away, and Young will go down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 85 yards rushing for him now at this point.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
Young on third down. And he will find his man on the end round, complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 20. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. The drive starts with a run by White. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
On second down, they'll run with White. And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this third quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The offense on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Opting to run again here with White. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
To get back in this ball game, big plays are going to be necessary. And here's one right on cue. Coming up with 3 scores here in the fourth is not going to be an easy task. But that's good work there to bite off a chunk of yards.
That throw by Young incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Young's throw there complete to Mooney. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 12-yard line. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
2nd and 10. Robinson up the middle. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
That's a really nice job of them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Young. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down. And it'll be intercepted. And the Bucs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goal's probably not going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They start to drive with White. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now back to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Back to throw. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he'll be out right at the 35. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
Now they'll work with 4 receivers here on 3rd down and long. They'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. But found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say.
And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Buccaneers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball off, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Young. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
1st down, Young. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Young's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. complete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And he's going to bring up a third down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. To the air once more, Young. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Buccaneers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 128 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. That one looks like he'll throw here. For the left side, it's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, I'll tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff, and here we go. It's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The 22 more yards there and another first down. Now Young. This ball caught by Mechie. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's good for 28 yards. This game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Tampa Bay, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.